So, 8th edition has leaked entirely at this point. You can get pretty much everything but the Forge World rules and the models themselves already. And there are a lot of good things about what they've done. It really does feel like they've tackled a lot of the bloat and trimmed a lot of the fat that epitomised 7th edition. That and cutting out a good chunk of the especially egregious stuff. Elder! However, there are flaws, and as I see it, there's one big problem. So far. The indexes. Now, that the big problem stems from them is both a good thing and a bad thing, but we'll get to that later. First of all, the issue of these things. As I read it, I feel like they really suck a lot of the flavour from the armies. Now, 7th edition did a whole lot of things wrong, but one of the things it did right, more so for some armies than others, is to make a lot of the models feel mechanically interesting in a fluffy way. I'm going to use the Sicarian Infiltrators as an example, since they really highlight the shift. First, some fluff. From the Sicari Codex, an infiltrator can bypass enemy defences with ease, though this ability owes nothing to stealth, nor to skill. Instead, it hinges upon the potency and variety of the disruptive wavelengths they broadcast from their domed helms and jutting antennae. When the infiltrators approach their prey's every sensory apparatus is bombarded by overwhelming stimuli. Voxcasters howl with anguished feedback, whilst vidscreens craze with fizzing static. Yet this crippling assault is even more effective upon natural senses than artificial ones. Ears ring with cruel tinnitus, eyes water and turn red. The taste of burnt metal fills the mouth. It is all the infiltrators' victims can do to remember how to breathe, as their prey clasps hands over bleeding ears and screws shut bloodshot eyes. The Sicarian Infiltrators simply walk into point-blank range and open fire. That is some really cool fluff, and if you disagree, I will fight you on the street. And back in 7th edition, the rule representing this was Neurostatic Aura, which subtracts 1 from the weapon skill, ballistic skill, initiative, and leadership from any model within 6 inches. That was rad as fuck. Maybe not as utterly crippling as the lore makes it sound, but still pretty powerful, and about as fluffy as you can get without being game-breaking. Now, let me tell you the rule for Neurostatic Aura in 8th edition. Enemy units within 3 inches of any Sicarian Infiltrators must subtract 1 from their leadership. Now, I get that leadership plays a much bigger role in 8th, but still, that's fucking boring. It feels impotent compared to the 7th edition version. And that's just an example. More general points on this would be gutting of special equipment, no conversion fields, the disappearance of a lot of cool things like Stern Guard special ammo, rules for marks of Chaos Gods, chapter tactics, or hell, even fucking chapter masters. They're completely missing. How did they forget fucking chapter masters? Or even the removal of relics, which for me always felt like they were a way to bring generic HQs into feeling like unique special characters in their own right that could add a lot of flavour to a homebrew force. I bring up a few instances, but this extends to pretty much all the armies, and that's the problem. All of the unit rules are from these indexes, so everything feels a whole lot more dull. But therein lies the silver lining, because these indexes were always intended as a stopgap. GW should be releasing full codexes for all the armies soon. Hopefully they can bring back a lot of the fluffy charm that's gone missing. So, as for 8th edition, I'm not willing to pass a final judgment, yet. As mentioned earlier, the core rules overall seem like a positive change to things. The ball is still in your court, GW. I honestly want to see a renaissance for 40k, and 8th edition has the potential to do it. All they need to do is not fuck up these codexes. But I'm sure everything will be fine. After all, this is new GW. Right, guys?